Welcome to Rio de Janeiro. They call it Cidade Maravilhosa, the marvelous city. And friend, let me tell you, they ain't kidding. This ain't no sterile postcard, no sir. Rio is raw, it's vibrant. It's a city that grabs you by the soul and dances you through the streets till dawn. We're talking iconic beaches, lush rainforests, and a cultural heartbeat that'll leave you breathless. This city's got it all, beauty, grit, and a whole lot of soul. So buckle up, kids. This ain't your average travelogue. We're diving deep into the heart of Rio, the real deal, the stuff that sticks with you long after you've left. Let's get started. All right, let's talk Christ the Redeemer. Yeah, you've seen the pictures. Majestic Christ overlooking the city, arms wide open like he's about to conduct a symphony of car horns and samba music. And sure, the view from up there on Copacabana Mountain, it's breathtaking, no doubt. You see the sweep of the city, the beaches, the favelas clinging to the hillsides, all laid out before you like a living, breathing map. But here's the thing, folks. It's more than just a view. Standing there, dwarfed by that statue, you feel something, a weight, a presence. Maybe it's the history, the faith, or maybe it's just the sheer audacity of building something so damn big on top of a mountain. Whatever it is, it gets under your skin. And listen, if you want the full impact, don't be one of those schmucks who show up midday with the tour bus crowd. Now, if Christ the Redeemer is Rio's grand opera, then Sugarloaf Mountain is a jazzy little club in the hills. It's got a different vibe, a little more intimate, maybe a little more dangerous. You're not just observing from on high here, you're right in the thick of it. The cable car ride up is just the first taste. You're floating over the city, past the favelas, the jungle clinging to the rock face, the ocean spread out like a shimmering blue carpet. And then, bam, you're on top of Sugarloaf, 360 degrees of pure, unadulterated Rio. From here you see the connections, the way the city breathes. The beaches, Ipanema, Copacabana, they're not just pretty postcards anymore. Let's talk beaches, baby. Copacabana, Ipanema, names synonymous with sun, sand, and maybe a little too much skin. Yeah, the beaches here are legendary, and for good reason. The sand is soft, the water's warm, and the people watching, well, let's just say it's a full-time sport here. But hold on, before you dismiss this as just another beach bum paradise, let me tell you something. There's a pulse here, a rhythm, that goes beyond the oiled-up bodies and the thumping music. It's in the vendors selling everything from sunscreen to skewers of grilled shrimp. It's in the families gathered under brightly colored umbrellas, sharing picnics and laughter. It's in the kids kicking a soccer ball, barefoot and carefree, sand flying everywhere. This is life, raw and unfiltered, and it's happening right here on the sand. Copacabana, with its iconic black and white promenade, is a whirlwind of activity. Tucked away in the heart of Rio, nestled between the colorful favelas, you'll find a staircase unlike any other. This ain't no ordinary climb, folks. This is the Escadaria Celeron, and it's a visual feast, a love letter to Rio in all its chaotic glory. Imagine this, 215 steps covered in over 2,000 pieces of tile, each one telling a story. There's vibrant blue and yellow tiles from Celeron's native Chile, alongside fragments of mirrors, bottles, and ceramics. It's a mosaic of madness, a kaleidoscope of color that explodes before your eyes. The story goes that Jorge Celeron, a Chilean artist who made Rio his home, started this project as a way to beautify his neighborhood. Piece by piece, tile by tile, he transformed this crumbling staircase into a masterpiece. And the people of Rio, they responded in kind. They brought him tiles from their travels, pieces of their lives, to add to his ever-growing creation. Walking these steps, you're not just climbing a staircase, you're walking through a living, breathing work of art. Now look, I'll be honest. I'm not what you'd call a sports guy. Give me a plate of spicy noodles and a cold beer over a stadium full of screaming fans any day. But even I gotta admit, there's something about Maracana Stadium that gets under your skin. This ain't just a stadium, folks. This is a temple, a shrine to the beautiful game. Football, or futebol as they call it here. It's more than just a sport in Brazil. It's a religion, a way of life. And Maracana, well, this is its hallowed ground. Standing in the stands, surrounded by 80,000 screaming fans, you can feel the energy, the passion, the raw emotion that courses through this place. It's electric, contagious, and even if you don't know a thing about football, you can't help but get swept up in the frenzy. Close your eyes and you can almost hear the roar of the crowd, the thud of the ball, the collective gasp as a goal is scored. You can practically taste the sweat, the tears, the sheer ecstasy of victory. All right, enough with the concrete jungle. Let's trade the samba beats for the sound of birdsong and the salty air for the smell of damp earth. We're heading into the heart of Tijuca National Park, folks. This ain't no manicured city park, no sir. This is the real deal. A sprawling rainforest smack dab in the middle of Rio. It's a wild, untamed place, a world away from the hustle and bustle of the city, yet just a stone's throw away. You can practically feel your blood pressure dropping as you hike through the lush trails, sunlight dappling through the canopy above. Look, I'm not gonna lie, the hikes here can be a bit of a workout, but trust me, the views from the top, they're worth every bead of sweat. As the sun dips low and the city starts to shimmer with 1,000 lights, there's a different kind of energy that takes hold of Rio. The rhythm picks up, the music gets louder, and the streets come alive with a vibrant, intoxicating energy. We're talking about nightlife, folks, and there's no place quite like Santa Teresa and Lapa to experience the heart and soul of Rio after dark. Santa Teresa, perched high on a hill overlooking the city, is a bohemian haven. Think cobblestone streets, charming cafes, and crumbling mansions covered in colorful murals. It's a place where artists and musicians rub shoulders with locals and tourists, all drawn to the neighborhood's laid-back vibe and creative energy. Start your evening with a drink at one of the many bars and restaurants that spill out onto the streets. Listen to the sounds of live music, watch the sunset over the city, and soak up the bohemian atmosphere. But don't stay too late, because just down the hill, Lapa is calling. Let's be honest, folks, Rio can be a lot. The energy, the crowds, the constant samba beat, it can wear even the most seasoned traveler down. So when you need a break from the chaos, a moment of peace and tranquility, I got just the place for you. Tucked away from the hustle and bustle, hidden amongst the leafy streets of Jardim Botanico, lies a sanctuary, the Jardim Botanico, Rio's botanical garden. Now I know what you're thinking. Botanical gardens, they're for tourists, right? All manicured lawns and polite flower beds. But trust me on this one, the Jardim Botanico, it's different. It's an oasis of calm, a green lung in the heart of the city, and a welcome escape from the relentless energy of Rio. As you step through the gates, you're greeted by a symphony of birdsong, the air thick with the scent of jasmine and frangipani. All right, folks, let's talk about the elephant in the room, the event that needs no introduction, Carnival. The word itself conjures up images of feathers, sequins, and a whole lot of skin. And let me tell you, Rio's Carnival, it lives up to the hype. In fact, it blows it out of the water. Imagine this. The streets explode in a riot of color and sound. Samba music pulsating through the air, impossible to resist. Costumes so elaborate, so outrageous, they make Vegas showgirls look like they're dressed for a trip to the grocery store. And the energy? Well, let's just say it's contagious. This ain't just a party, folks. It's a celebration of life, a release, a chance for everyone, rich and poor, to shed their inhibitions and just let loose. For weeks leading up to Lent, Rio transforms into a giant street party. Look, I get it. After days of samba beats, caipirinhas, and enough fried snacks to clog an artery, you might need a break from the city. And trust me, when the urban jungle starts to feel a little too constricting, there's no better escape than the islands off the coast of Rio. We're talking Ilha Grande and Parody, folks. Two sides of paradise, each offering a different flavor of escape. Ilha Grande, the big island, is a breath of fresh air. Literally. No cars are allowed on the island, so get ready to ditch the honking taxis and embrace the slower pace of life. Think crystal clear waters, pristine beaches, and lush rainforests teeming with wildlife. So there you have it, folks. Rio de Janeiro, a city that's more than just a pretty face. It's a city of contrasts, of contradictions, of beauty and grit, all rolled into one intoxicating package. From the golden beaches to the lively samba beats, Rio is a city that sears itself into your memory. You can't come to Rio and not be changed by it. It's a city that challenges you, excites you, and ultimately leaves you wanting more. So whether you're scaling Sugarloaf Mountain, dancing till dawn in Lapa, or simply soaking up the sun on Copacabana Beach, remember this. Rio is a city that's meant to be experienced, not just seen. So get out there, explore, get lost in the chaos, and find your own piece of Rio. And hey, if you work up an appetite along the way, don't worry, I got you covered.